Welcome to another episode of the Bug Bite, hosted by yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineer twin. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a major Google Cloud platform fumble and how it could have been catastrophic for one particular company over in Australia. So let's just jump right into our story for today. All right, so this article is brought to us by Ars Technica, and it's titled Unprecedented Google Cloud Event Wipes Out Customer Account and Its Backups. So UniSuper's, the company, a $135 billion pension account, details its cloud compute nightmare. And this article is written by Ron Amadeo. So let's see. So this was published on May 17th, 2024, right? So a few weeks ago. So buried under the news from Google's I/O this week is one of Google Cloud's biggest blunders ever. Google's Amazon Web Service competitor accidentally deleted a giant customer's account for no reason at all. UniSuper, an Australian pension fund that manages $135 billion worth of funds and has 647,000 members, had its entire account wiped out at Google Cloud, including all of its backups that were stored on the service. UniSuper, thankfully, had some backups with a different provider and was able to recover its data. But according to UniSuper's incident log, downtime started May 2nd and a full restoration of services didn't happen until May 15th. Whew, that is a tough thing. Shout out to the unsung hero, the backup provider that was able to save UniSuper's and all of its customers. Right, so UniSuper's website is now full of must-read admin nightmare fuel about how this all happened. First, a wow page posted on May 8th titled A Joint Statement from UniSuper CEO Peter Chung and Google CEO Thomas Kurian. This statement reads, Google Cloud CEO Thomas Kurian has confirmed that the disruption arose from an unprecedented sequence of events whereby an inadvertent misconfiguration during provisioning of UniSuper's private cloud service ultimately resulted in the deletion of UniSuper's private cloud subscription. This is an isolated, one-of-a-kind occurrence that has never before occurred with any of Google's cloud's clients globally. This should not have happened, of course, that's to say the least. Google Cloud has identified the event that led to this disruption and taken measures to ensure it never, ever happens again. So, in the next section, titled, Why Did the Outage Last for So Damn? See, they don't put damn in it, but that's what they're saying. What the is happening? Why is this happening for so damn long? 2 weeks? 2 weeks is an eternity in tech, especially when my money is involved, right? So, the joint statement says, UniSuper has duplication in 2 geographies as a protection against outages and loss. However, when the deletion of UniSuper's private cloud subscription occurred, it caused deletion across both, not 1, but 2 of these geographies. Every cloud service keeps full backups, which you would presume are meant for worst case scenarios. Imagine, however, some hackers take over your server or the building your data is inside, collapses, or something like that. But no. The actual worst case scenario is Google deletes your account. That's sad. Which means all those backups are poof, be gone as well, right? Google Cloud is supposed to have safeguards that don't allow account deletion, but none of them worked apparently, and the only option was to restore from a separate cloud provider. Shout out to the hero at UniSuper who chose a multi-cloud solution. Shout out to that cloud engineer who saved the day, right? So let me break this down what happened here. So it's common that you have servers to back up in multiple geographies. So for instance, in Amazon Web Services, you have the most common one, probably the biggest one is US East 1. But then you have people who are using AWS in Europe would probably be using EUS 1. And then they have some for Asian Pacific, Southeast, Asian Pacific, Northeast, and like they have multiple in the United States as well. But now it's like, okay, so let's say you're running your main data, your main whatever it is that you're using on AWS out of US East 1. Now you can have data replication in EU and maybe a US West 2 or whatever the case may be, so that if something if US East 1 goes down, it can have a backup, or you can fall over to another region. But the problem that happened here was because it was deleted, when it tried to back up, it backed up deleting what happened in that original region. So now it's like you're replicating the process of deletion, which should have never happened in the first place. And because the configurations are probably matched across regions, if it was able to delete without any confirmation or warning in that one region, that means in the other regions as well, it's also going to delete without any confirmation or warning as well, which leads to a major fail. All right. So let's continue. UniSuper is an Australian superannuation fund. The US equivalent would be a 401k. It's a retirement fund that employers pay into as part of an employee paycheck. In Australia, some amount of the super fund payment is required by law for all employed people. Managing $135 billion worth of funds makes UniSuper a big enough company that if something goes wrong, if something goes bump in the night, it gets the Google Cloud CEO on the phone instead of customer service immediately. All right. So a June 23 press release touted UniSuper's big cloud migration to Google with Sam Cooper, UniSuper's head of architect, saying with Google Watch VMware engine, migrating to the cloud is streamlined and extremely easy. It's all about efficiencies that help us deliver highly competitive fees for our members, right? So this happened. It was almost a year since they've been using the Google Cloud, or that they had the press release. It was almost a year, and then right a year later, we have Houston. We have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. All right. So the many stakeholders in the service meant service restoration wasn't just about restoring backups, but also processing all requests and payments that still needed to happen during the 2 weeks of downtime. Imagine that. You're supposed to get your payout for your retirement, and this is the money you need to survive. And then the company's like, well, we can't really pay you right now because Google deleted all your data. How's that for an excuse? How is that for an excuse? All right. Society made me do it. Google made me do it. All right. So that's a new excuse. All right. So highlights from the outline timeline. The second must-read document in this whole saga is the outage update page, which contains 12 statements as the cloud devs worked through this catastrophe. The first update is May 2nd with an ominous statement. You may be aware of service disruption affecting UniSuper systems. UniSuper immediately seemed to have the problem nailed down, saying the issue originated from one of the cloud service providers. The issue originated from one of the third-party service providers, and we're actively partnering with them to resolve this. On May 3rd, Google Cloud publicly entered the picture with a joint statement from UniSuper and Google Cloud saying that the outage was not the result of a cyber attack, which would be the first thing people were thinking about, all right? So then, Monday, May 6th, is when things started to heat up. First was the morning statement saying both teams worked through the weekend to try to fix this, but then the next two outage page updates were lengthy statements of apologies signed by Chung. The UniSuper CEO assured members that member accounts are safe, no data was exposed to unauthorized third parties, and that pension payments have not been disrupted. When your service is close to being a bank, there is going to be a lot of panic, of course, and as well there should be, out there when there are several days of unexplained downtime. The CEO's update also stated that while a full root cause analysis, an RCA, is ongoing, Google Cloud has confirmed this is an isolated one-of-a-kind issue that just so happens to affect UniSuper and apparently no other customers, that has not previously arisen elsewhere. Google Cloud has confirmed that they are taking measures to ensure this issue does not happen ever again. Chung also mentioned that UniSuper has had a second cloud provider and it would work to minimize data loss. On May 7th, the CEO added, Google Cloud has issued a statement today which confirms again that the fault originated within their service as a one-of-its-kind, unprecedented occurrence, and that Google Cloud sincerely from the bottom of my heart apologizes for the inconvenience this has caused. Not to mention the amount of money this has caused Google as well. But hey, where my money? I need that, all right? 7 days after the outage on May 9th, we saw the first signs of life again for UniSuper. Login started working for online UniSuper accounts. I think that only meant the website, but the outage page noted that account balances shown may not reflect transactions which have not yet been processed due to the outage. An earlier update pegged April 29th as a planned data rollback for balances. The next 7 days of updates log progressive restorations of various features of the website and the application. May 13th is the first mention of the mobile app beginning to work again. This update noted that balances still weren't up to date and that we are processing transactions as quickly as we can. And then the last update on May 15th states UniSuper can confirm that all member-facing services have been fully restored with our retirement calculators now available again. So keyword, member-facing. Does that mean that they still have some non-member-facing services that are acting up? We want to know. All right? So the joint statement and the outage updates are still not a technical post-mortem of what happened, and it's unclear if we will get one. Google PR confirmed in multiple places it signed off on the statement, but a great breakdown from software developer Daniel Compton points out that the statement is not just vague, it's also full of terminology that doesn't align with Google Cloud products. The imprecise language makes it seem like the statement was written entirely by UniSuper. It would be nice to see a real breakdown of what happened from Google Cloud's perspective, especially when other current or potential customers are going to keep a watchful eye on how Google handles the fallout from this. Anyways, the moral of the story, written by Ron Amadeo, is don't put all your eggs in one cloud basket. Thank you so much, Ron Amadeo, for that article. Very, very good. I am curious to know as well the full root cause analysis, the breakdown, the postmortem about how did this almost tragic catastrophe make it through. Shout out to that backup provider who saved the day for UniSuper and all of its members. But let's go back to full screen. All right, there we have it. It is tough to read a story like this, which originates from Google, because Google is one of the biggest players in the game. Maybe not as big on the cloud providing part, but they're major, and they're growing. And we have to make sure that, because I don't believe this is an actual software bug. I think it's a user error in using and overlooking some certain type of configuration. And by doing that, it causes major outage for 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks, which could have been avoided. And that's why I always say work on automation. That's why we do Terraform on Sundays, because if we can automate our infrastructure, it leaves less room for user error. Unless they did a Terraform destroy and then bring everything down, and then it's a total mess. But that's a separate story. Join us on Sundays for Terraform. In 2 days, Terraform. We're working on something, all right? And then we're going to move into automating DevOps process. Very, very important. And with Terraform, it makes it easy to replicate your configuration across other providers so that you can also have that backup. You can be that cloud engineer that is heralded, that saves the day for your company, like the cloud engineer was highlighted here for UniSuper. Imagine if they put all their eggs in the Google Cloud platform, it would have been a total nightmare. You can't even restore the data. No backups. Imagine that. How about that? Anyways, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you need additional exclusive content that helps you level up, like what top skills you need, non-technical and technical, or you need one-on-one coaching, go over to www.techcoachralph.dev so you can sign up to a one-on-one coaching plan or just get access to exclusive content. I have me updating my resume. I have how I search for jobs on LinkedIn, all that good stuff. Helps you level up. How I use my calendar, because I want you to win. All right, so go over to www.techcoachralph.dev. sign up for a plan, and then consider getting one-on-one coaching. And on your way out, do me a big favor. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every single time that we go live and drop new content. But on that note, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Bug Bite, and we are out.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.